Hey boys, welcome back to some Cricket 19 My Player Korea. It's the first test match against the arch rivals New Zealand in Australia, obviously, and we're coming out to bat in the second innings here. Only a lead by 53. We're 2 for 139. Very similar position to the first innings. We came in pretty much the same score, but it was Labuschagne on about 60. This time it's Will Pukovski, so very reminiscent. Hopefully things can turn out a little bit differently. We made a very nice 60 odd, as Trent Boulder looks like he's refreshed. He's got the 2 wickets. If you didn't see the last episode, what are you doing? You should be watching it. But Bolty, I don't know. There was something up with him. Bit of a niggle, bit of a twinge in the glute, in the hammy, who the heck knows, but he was struggling. He was struggling deluxe, bowling absolute pies. So he's coming out of the second innings looking a lot fresher. Coming over the wicket as well. He was bowling all around the wicket stuff. I don't know what was doing, but yeah, we need to. I mean, honestly, the batting was okay. We scored. We didn't quite go on with it. I mean, myself, I didn't go on with the big one. Labuschagne got out before he got his ton as well. And then we just didn't quite get enough from our middle to lower order. You know, we only just scraped 300. And then New Zealand came out and, you know, they didn't. I would say, obviously, they'd be more satisfied. But they did, you know, they had the chance probably to put this game into a very, very winnable position. But now we've come out and sort of not eroded all their hard work, but we're making good work of it so far. Still a lot of work to do, and myself and Pukovski, if we can get, you know, just again, it's all about increments. We just want to get this lead to 100, you know, and then knock off another 50. That's sort of the way we like to do things. Just knock it off in increments. As pushing for a sneaky second there was a little bit risky. Direct hit might have been in trouble, but thankfully from the boundary they don't throw direct hits as much as they used to, the fielders, as that is a absolute cracking cover drive. I don't think we played too many cover drives in the first innings, but that was beautiful. Tim Southey, bit of a mix up here in the first innings. It was Southey bowling very nicely. He actually got us out with a perler. That's another beautiful shot off the back foot, just punching that through cover point, and that's going to race way for another boundary. But yeah, Southey was bowling well, and Bolt was in all sorts. And now this inning, Southey is looking a little bit gassed, a little bit off the boil, and Bolt is picking it up. So, you know, it's good for New Zealand that one bowler's a bit out of form. Their other main striker is picking up the slack, and obviously they got a lot of spin options. So always a little bit trickier, but we moved on to 12 now, looking confident. Our batting has been very, very solid. Unfortunately, we just haven't been able to convert our good starts into the big one, and unfortunately, right there, I think Pukovski is gonna be in some trouble, dude. Oh my god, I thought he was gonna be home for sure. He just didn't stride it out. I could have put the dive in for sure. That's my bad. But I was holding sprint. He just didn't. I was like, if he sprints, he's gonna make it. But he just sort of slowed up at the end. So you know, it's my fault. I'll take the blame for that one. But at the same time, it's the AI's fault, because if he just ran hard, he would have made it, dude. That's a beautiful shot. Just guiding that one over the slips for a beautiful 4 as Sodi comes into the action here, coming around the wicket as the leggy. I mean, it's a bit of a strange tactic early on, and obviously if you see Sodi here, his player model isn't really reminiscent. The ethnicity is a little bit strange. Obviously, most of like, even, you know, the players in this game have been very well, you know, likenessed, the face scanned or the community, but obviously Sodi's player likeness hasn't quite updated. I'm sure there is one in the community, but I don't know, this New Zealand team doesn't have it, which is fine, as we couldn't I don't know, wouldn't let me go for the overthrow right there. But Stephen Smith, the new man to the crease, hasn't been in the best of form lately in our career. I don't know, maybe batting down the order just isn't quite suiting him. But, you know, I mean, that not much we can do. I like the order. I like Labuschagne at number 3, and I like us at number 4. So Stephen Smith, he's down the order. Simple as that. He's gonna have a tough time to try to usurp us or Labuschagne in this order, and he's got to start doing the job at number 5 now. And I mean, he can, as that one has been put down. A tough chance. I mean, if I got caught out on that one, I would have been pretty salty. But it's a drop chance for sure, and that would have been a massive wicket. If we get out there 4 for 170, we would have been in all sorts of strife with our tail being pretty weak. I don't know. It seems like the versing opposition teams, that their tail just scores bulk runs, but for some reason our Australian tail, which should be pretty good, they don't score any runs, which is unfortunate. That's a beautiful little whippage off the pad for a sneaky double there. And looks like the spin action is in full effect. A fairly defensive field. Santner, the left arm orthodox here, just coming in, just bowling his little darts. You know, decent bowler. I've never been a huge fan of Santner, but you know, he has gone pretty well in I know he's gone well in like shorter form. I don't really know how his record is in like the longer form cricket, but yeah, he's always a handy cricketer with bat and ball. He can do the job. As that one almost chipped to the fielders. They're mixing the pace up nicely here. The spinners mixing the field up as well. They keep switching from the couple of men back, and it's actually it's an annoying field for us to bat to, because there are men around the bat, like, you know, there's catches around, but then there's also men just stopping the boundary. So it's tough. It's tough on the game, because you like that sort of the spaces in a test match to hit that boundary, you know, just relieve the pressure, just, you know, get that one boundary and over to, you know, to not really worry about the scoring rate. But if they got like a bit of a ring field and then a couple of men saving those get out, or the, you know, the pressure relieve type boundary shots, then it's quite difficult, as that is a cracking cut shot. Oh, that's beautiful, dude. It's a tough shot to play in this game, but it looks so good when you can do it, the actual cut shot. Yeah, I don't know. I can't seem to do it consistently, but I've started to get a little bit of rhythm with it. And it's a nice shot. It's a nice shot to play. I still think they could improve the cut shot. Like, I don't know. It's always been the issue, the cut shot in the cricket games. I just want that big, you know, against the paces primarily, that short and wide one. I want a shot where you just step out and just crack it through point. I just feel like it hasn't been in a cricket game. It's just sort of this little waft at the ball outside off. But, you know, it is what it is. As we move on to 35-38, Steve Smith getting into his work as well. There is, I was going to look for the sneaky single. Probably good thing we sent Smith back. We don't want to get 2 runouts in the one in the one innings. That would be diabolical. But we've got the lead above 100 now. I mean, that's what we were. That was the target. That was the mini target, 100. So we've knocked that off. We want to get it to now 150. And I mean, again, ideally, yeah, I mean, 300 is always a good sort of milestone. And looking at the first 2 innings, I think 300 would be a very, very good lead into the final innings. I think in New Zealand have, oh boy, that is a beautiful shot. Absolutely superb. They've got men all around there, but we have just pierced that beautifully and just cracked it for 4. But, you know, New Zealand, they've shown they got the batters and they got the batting depth to chase that down. But I think leader 300 would be ideal. It's going to be a tough ask to get there, but we can't, you know, we can't rest on our laurels. I think we got to put in the work, and unfortunately, we're not going to be the man to get us to that 300. That's just, you know, a little bit of natural variation there. Just didn't really spin. I don't know if it was just the traditional arm ball, but just didn't really go on. Caught the little inside edge, and another decent score, another 40, but we just couldn't go on and get that big triple figures. So we are going to be in a spot of bother here, but it looks like the Kiwi boys, a little bit of pressure in the final innings, and they're in all sorts of strife. We're going to come into the fray here, and they're 3 for 58. Not in all sorts, but not what you'd want. Target of 240. Honestly, not too bad. Like I said, 300 would be ideal, but anything around that 250 to 300, we'd be pretty happy with. And 240, a little bit below what we'd like, but that is sensational. Henry Nichols, big wicket. He's a man that can stay and occupy for a long time, and that's just such a silky wicket. It's just so beautiful to watch. Just the spinning ball away. He plays a forward defense, cops the outside edge. Steve Smith takes just a perfect catch, just in a perfect position, and a massive wicket. Our first over, 1 wicket, no runs. And then Worker is going to crack that one for 4 through cover. It's still a great over. They're now 4 for 62, and we are well and truly in the box seat. Now 5 for 72. Seaford and Worker, who have both been in pretty good touch. I think in the first innings they scored some handy runs. So we can't rest on our laurels. We're in a very good position, but they've shown fight, and New Zealand, they always show fight in whichever sport it is. They're not going to die wondering. They're going to go for this total. But bowling well, and you know, it'd be disappointing to lose this one from here with our bowling attack, and you know, hopefully a pitch that's going to be doing a little bit extra, maybe a little bit of variable bounce, a little bit of sideways movement. It looked a little worrying there for a second. Worker and Seaford were cruising. Seaford actually didn't get out. He got 65 not out, but thankfully, once we got the wicket of Worker, they crumbled pretty badly. Hazelwood getting 4, Richardson getting a couple, and a big win, 61 runs. So a massive victory at the Wacker. First Test match of 3. That's a big win in this series. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying this series going on right now. Make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you in the next one.